for you, Dave.
What, no cake?
Nope, these are my props, and they're to help us work out the volumes of cylinders and prisms.
Prisms?
Yep, a prism is a shape that's got a constant cross-section running all the way through. But mathematicians might be a bit more picky and say that the cross-section has to be made of straight edges only.
What?
Okay, if you take an object and you cut it the right way, it'll have the same shape all the way through.
Nope, you've lost me.
Should we try with cake? Okay, cut 2 pieces of Battenberg. That's 1 and 2. Hold it, pop it on the plate. What do you notice about them?
Mine's bigger than yours.
Yeah, but what about the cross-section? The shape?
They're both kind of the same, square.
Yeah, exactly. Constant cross-section and straight edges. Kind of prism. Now, cut 2 slices of Swiss roll.
Okay. 1, 2. The same again, they're both kind of circular.
That's what I mean. The Battenberg is a prism because its cross-section's made of straight edges only. The Swiss roll isn't a prism because it's got curved edges, but it does have a constant cross-section that'll make it easier for working out its volume later.
Right, and what about the fish food? That's a cylinder.
Yeah, but that's my uncle's fish.
Your uncle's not fish?
Well, not quite yet. That's going to be your job. Find him a great fish tank and all this cake is yours.
I'm gone.
Look, I need to tell you something.
My uncle's next door neighbour
Has got this brand new fish tank and she just won't stop going on about it. So what I've got to do is find him an even better fish tank so we can quieten her down.
But my uncle,
He wants to be a responsible fish owner. So I have to make sure that whatever tank I get for him, it is big enough for the fish. Now, knowing about volume is going to help us make sure we find exactly the right tank. So let's have a look at how to calculate the volume of 3-dimensional objects that have a constant cross-section. Now this is pretty simple. Volume equals the area of the cross-section times by the length of the object. So if you think back to the Battenberg, then it's the area of the square, that's the cross-section, times by the length of the cake. So the area of the square is 6 by 6, which gives us 36. Then times that by 14, the length of the cake, and that gives us an area of approximately 500 centimetre cubed. So for the Swiss roll, well, I find the area of the kind of circle and then multiply that by the length of the cake. So the diameter is 6 centimetres. So to work out the area of the kind of circle, we'd use pi r squared, and r is half of 6, 3. So pi times 3 squared, and then times that by the length of the cake, 16, and that gives us a volume of 450 centimetre cubed, approximately. So if Dave had to choose which cake had more cake in it, he'd have to choose the Battenberg, as that volume is slightly larger.
Ah, there's the fish tank. But what am I supposed to do with it? Well, hang on a minute. Ah, the instructions are here. This is the same fish tank that my uncle's next door neighbour has. Not very exciting, but it's a good size for the number of fish he wants. I need you to find out how much water it takes to fill up to the mark on the side, which is there. That's its volume. To help you, you'll find an empty 2-litre milk bottle. I know what I'll do. I'll just see how many of these I can squeeze in here, then times the number by 2, and that'll tell me the volume, approximately. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hang on. I've missed a bit. Hang on. The answer needs to be quite accurate, as I have to be sure there is enough water to keep the fish happy and healthy. This is not going to be accurate enough. I'll have to do it the hard way. Oh, there we go. Sorry, fishy. Here we go. This is going to take ages. coming from? This is a very boring job you're getting me to do here. There must be a faster way.
Well, that is one way of getting an accurate answer. But there's actually a much quicker way. The fish tank is a prism, and I've already shown you how to work out the volume of a prism. All you need to do is times the cross-sectional area with the height or length of the prism. Now, as this is a rectangular prism, it doesn't matter which face we choose as the cross-section, as no matter which way we slice it, the cross-section will be the same throughout. See? Now, this is not true for all prisms, so be careful. But with our rectangular prism, the simple thing to do here is to times its length, times the width, times by the height. So, in this case though, the height is going to be the height that I fill the tank to with water, and not the height of the actual tank, as I want to know the volume of water. So the figures that we use are 40 times by 25 times by 35, which gives us a volume of 35,000 centimetre cubed. But I want the answer in litres. But as there are 1,000 cubic centimetres in every litre, let's just divide the answer by 1,000, and that gives us 35 litres.
Now that's 34 litres, and it's almost at the top. And there. I've poured one more in, which means it's 35 litres. Easy.
So what's the volume, Dave?
35 litres.
And how long did it take you to work that out?
Well, I didn't really work it out. I kind of measured it really accurately, but it took a long time.
Well, your answer was right, so good one.
Thank you.
But I tell you what, you better empty that tank and clean it, because the tank shop's coming to collect it and deliver a far more interestingly shaped one. And this time, I want you to work out the volume using the formula volume equals cross-sectional area times by height. Okay?
Okay. Volume equals cross-sectional area times by height. Now I know the height, that's this bit here, 46 centimetres, but how do I work out the area of here? Well, I guess anyway, really. That's 40 centimetres, and then from there, 36 centimetres, and then times both those by the height, 46, and that's the volume. Ish.
On first glance, this volume is quite difficult to work out, as its cross-section is a fairly tricky shape to work out the area of. However, if we take a look from above, then we can see that the cross-section is a 40 by 40 square with a triangle cut out the side of it. So if we work out the area of the square and then take off the area of the triangle, then we'll be left with the area of our cross-section. So the area of the square, well, that's pretty easy. That's length times width, 40 by 40, which gives us 1,600. And the area of the triangle, that's going to be half base times perpendicular height. So, the base is, well, we know the sides of the square are 40 centimetres, and the triangle starts at 12 centimetres on both sides. So that means the base is 40 minus 12, 28 centimetres. And the height, well, that's the same, 28. So that means the area of the triangle is half times 28 times 28, which gives us 392. So that means the total cross-sectional area is 1,600 minus 392, which is 1,208 centimetres squared. But now what we've got to do is times that cross-sectional area by the height that we want to fill the fish tank to. And in this case, that's 46 centimetres. So that gives us an answer of 55,568 centimetre cubed, which is approximately 56 litres. That might be a bit big.
So did you make the volume about 56 litres?
No, mine was 66 litres. That's quite a difference.
Well, did you use the right formula?
Cross-sectional area times by height.
Yeah, but where did you take the cross-section from?
From the top of the tank, and then times the area by its height, 46 centimetres.
Yeah, you got the height right, but your answer's well out.
Well, anyway, I've got some interesting news for you.
Go on.
The fish tank man popped by and he said he could make you an extra special fish tank so you could see fish from wherever you are in the room. It's a perfect cylinder measuring 32 centimetres in diameter and any height you want between 20 and 80 centimetres.
That sounds really cool.
However, he wants to know how high you want it so it gives him time to make it.
Looks like I've got some maths to do.
It does sound awesome. A cylindrical aquarium made to measure. Question is though, how high to have it? Well, this is what we know. The diameter is 32 centimetres and I want it to have at least 35 litres of water in it, and that way we can have the same amount of fish as her next door. I also know the volume and I can work out the cross-sectional area, so I guess I can also work out the height. Here goes. The area of a circle is pi r squared. So the r is half the diameter, so 32 divided by 2 is 16. So that means pi r squared comes to approximately 804 centimetres squared. Now I want my tank to hold at least 35 litres, and 35 litres is 35,000 cubic centimetres. And we already know that volume equals cross-sectional area times height. So if I divide the volume by the cross-sectional area, it should give me a figure for the height. So 35,000 divided by 804 gives us 43.5 centimetres, which is the minimum height I will need my water to be filled to. But let's round it up a little bit, just to leave some space for those lights and some pumps. So I'll get him to make it 48 centimetres high. That should be just about perfect.
Fish. I love fish. With chips, salt and vinegar. Oh, fish tank's nice, by the way. And Fran, you can keep your cake. I'll have this any day. Lovely. Sorry, you didn't know him, did you? No good. Want some? No? No.
Why am I not surprised?
Still, he did manage to find my uncle a lovely fish tank.
So he does deserve a little treat. Now remember, Dave got the volume of that bunny-shaped fish tank wrong. He decided to work out the cross-section on top of the tank and then times it by the 46, the height. So what did he do wrong? Well, while you work that out, I've got a piece of cake waiting for me on the other side of the studio. So I'm going to go and get that.